Hey, it's Lindsay. Before we get into today's conversation, I have a favor to ask. CityCast is doing our annual listener survey, and it would really help us out if you took it. Please go to citycast.fm/survey to take the survey, and we timed it. It only takes 7 minutes. When you take the survey, you'll also be eligible to win a $250 Visa gift card and CityCast Boise swag. That's citycast.fm/survey. We'll put a link in the show notes. Today on CityCast Boise, the Treasure Valley's been baking in this heat, so we're cooling off with a sweet throwback to the delicious and chaotic world of dirty sodas with Deseret News writer Meg Walter. In this rerun, she's explaining how the Utah drive-thru phenomenon made sweet waves into the Boise summer scene. It's Thursday, August 14th. I'm Lindsay Van Allen, and this is what Boise's talking about. Meg, for anyone who might not be familiar, what's a dirty soda?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Lindsay. Thank you. A dirty soda is a standard soda that you add a flavored syrup to, and if you're really crazy, a splash of cream or half and half. I myself am a Diet Coke with lime drinker, and then sometimes when I'm feeling a little crazy, I'll do a sugar-free coconut syrup. That's my dirty soda of choice.
When you're getting real wild.
Really taking a walk on the wild side.
Where did the name dirty soda come from?
Oh man, I wish I knew. I think that it's appropriated from alcoholic drink culture. Don't quote me on that, but I think, dirty martinis, dirty lattes. I mean, that's not alcoholic, obviously, but it's just like a term in drinks. And we don't do a ton of alcoholic drinks in Utah, or historically we haven't. And so I think that was our version of a dirty drink.
Oh, okay. Kind of, yeah, wanting to adopt that within the drinks you guys are having. Where and kind of when do you think that dirty sodas originated? Because I was in college, 2006, 2007 in Rexburg, and we would go to Horkley's and get a 44-ounce soda with syrup. Was this maybe like a ubiquitous LDS Mormon experience that someone just capitalized on by creating a store?
Yes, I think yes. I think that Italian sodas have always been a thing. But then a place called Swig opened. I believe St. George was the first location, and that's all they did were these sodas, and they sold some cookies on the side, but they really became like the dirty soda place, and it just took off. And then there were other people who came into the game, So Delicious, Thirst. Now, like every gas station has their own version of a dirty soda arm of the establishment. It started in full force with Swig a couple decades ago now.
What do you think it is about dirty sodas that has made them so popular?
They taste wonderful. They are so delicious. There's nothing better on a July afternoon than a 32-ounce Diet Coke with some zesty lime and a hit of coconut. Like, it's so refreshing. It's the perfect pick-me-up. I think that's what made it popular here. And then, of course, a lot of people in our culture who are Latter-day Saints don't drink coffee. And so they prefer their caffeine cold. And that's where they're going to. They're getting sodas instead.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on, kind of the cultural element here that I think it's not surprising maybe that dirty sodas would become so popular and kind of originate, or these shops would originate in Utah. Can you speak more to what all is involved in that and how that, why these are so synonymous with Utah?
I will do my best. And I hate to speak for every Latter-day Saint in the state of Utah, but members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints abide by something called the Word of Wisdom, which are a few tenets for how to live a healthy life. And there are things like don't drink alcohol, abstain from eating too much meat. And one of them is abstain from hot drinks, which is interpreted a variety of different ways, but mostly understood to mean no black or green tea and no coffee. No coffee is obviously the big one. We're not having caffeine. We're just having our caffeine a different way. So caffeinated soda is extremely popular in the state of Utah.
And I hope this question is okay for me to ask, talking about word of wisdom and health codes and things. I think for some listeners, they might have a question about, green tea and black tea not being okay, but then dirty soda being okay.
I mean, but isn't that human nature? Like anyone who has a set of rules to live by, they're going to find a way to live around those rules while getting as close to them as possible, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like anyone in any society that has some sort of standards, they're just going to do what they can to live around those standards. But like, come on, we need caffeine too.
Well, and everybody wants a splurge or
absolutely
something that
we
feels,
need a vice.
Yeah. Everybody wants that one little pick me up thing.
Got any fun trips coming up? One thing you probably haven't put on your packing list is learning the language. But with Babbel, you can start talking in just a few weeks. I'm David Plotz, the CEO of CityCast, and I've been learning Spanish with Babbel. And I also just persuaded my friend who's going to France this fall to learn French with Babbel, but that is another story. Babbel is extremely fun and intuitive. It's like having a private tutor in your pocket. Handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel's lessons are voiced by real native speakers and built with science-backed cognitive tools and interactive features to fit any learning style. I love a lot of the different Babbel features. The Babbel games for sentence building, Babbel speech recognition, which helps me get the pronunciation right. And now I'm really into Babbel's word of the day, which greets me on the homepage of the app. Every day, a new word revealed like a little surprise with a sentence to help contextualize it. It's like a daily treat for me. Studies from Yale, Michigan State, and other leading universities continue to prove that Babbel works. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. Look, I want you to learn another language. So I'm teaming up with Babbel to gift you 55% off subscriptions, but only for CityCast listeners at babbel.com/CityCast. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/CityCast. Spelled BABBEL.com/CityCast. Babbel.com/CityCast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
So Idaho and specifically Boise have seen several of these soda shops open up recently. We have Fizz, Sodalicious, Swig, multiple of those throughout the Treasure Valley. And they've become especially popular in the more suburban areas like Meridian and Eagle. How do you think that these soda shops have developed into such a widespread phenomenon outside of Utah?
I think that because there's a large LDS population and they're probably, because their LDS have friends and family in Utah and have probably been introduced to this and have craved something like that closer to them. And of course, because they are LDS, will patronize those places because they're not coffee drinkers. And that would be my best guess. Obviously, I'm not a business expert, but that would be my theory for why they're popping up in places that have heavy LDS populations.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. Would you say that the target audience for these dirty soda shops is particularly LDS people, or maybe communities at large, moms, like?
No, I don't think it's primarily LDS people. I think we just innovated in the space because we were desperate for it, right? But I think, who doesn't love like a cold soda, especially one with add-ins that make it more flavorful? I think that like for teens, it's a super fun way to get a treat. Moms, like you said, anyone looking for like a lot. What's great about these places is a lot of them are drive-throughs. So anyone who's like, I'm just going to take a 15 and go grab a drink, I think it's popular everywhere that they're opening because it's universally appealing to go get a cold, delicious soda.
Do you think the customization factor is part of the popularity? I mean, you can go get a Diet Coke anywhere, but there are just all of these customizable options. I know that there's, like with the coconut and the lime, those are kind of the fail safe, really standard options. But do you think that plays a role in the popularity?
Yes, and I think that people base part or all of their personality on how unhinged their swig order is. The variety of fruit options. There's like these little candy balls that you can get with it. Like, you can go truly insane with your drink order. And I think that, like you said, the customization makes it really fun.
Okay, so I want to jump right into that before we lose that thread. What is the most unusual thing that you've seen as an option to put in these sodas?
I mean, one time my husband came home and he had a Mountain Dew, full sugar Mountain Dew, which already by itself is insane to me because it was like a 44 ounce.
Oh, wow.
And then had like these, I don't know how to describe them, but you know how like there's boba, but like boba's just tapioca. These are like crunchy candy balls that he had added in. And then I think he added cranberry as well, which sounds so gross to me, but he said it was so good. And I'm so happy for him that he has a place to live his best life in that way, because I'm not buying like sweet tarts for you to pop in your soda, but good for you.
I can't even like picture what that would taste like. Like, I'm sure
disgusting is how I picture it, but he said it's really good.
I guess, I guess there's a combo for every person.
Lid for every pot, drink wise.
I've always wondered, this is kind of maybe a sidebar, but how did the cold pink sugar cookie become part of the dirty soda combo?
There is a little shop down in St. George, Utah, which is in southern Utah, that is called Dutchman's. And for the longest time, they were making these cookies that are sugar cookies, and they're like thick sugar cookies, and they kept them cold. And then they put this cream cheese pink icing on them. And it was just kind of like a local favorite. And then because Swig started in St. George and started just getting them from Dutchman's as like a distributor and selling them, and they just took off because they're really, really good. They're really delicious cookies. I'm not even like a cookie person, but I can't say no to a Dutchman's cookie. And it just became like a staple of Swig. You get your Swig cookie and your 44 ounce Mountain Dew with candies in it and go into diabetic shock. But people really loved it. So
yeah, no, it kind of, with all these shops opening up here, it feels kind of ubiquitous when, I know somebody who's going to go get that. They always come back with the pink sugar cookie.
Yeah.
Are there any other snacks or food offerings that you've seen the dirty soda shops are offering to maybe distinguish themselves from the competition or innovate?
Yeah, it's funny because they all kind of have like a different thing. So Thirst, which is primarily in Salt Lake City, I believe, does a scotcheroo that's really good with the peanut butter. And is that everywhere? Scotcheroo is everywhere.
Well, I grew up LDS, so I say yes to that, but I don't know if that's true outside the culture.
Okay, yeah. So it's like a peanut butter Rice Krispie treat with chocolate on top. They do a really good one. And then they had a location elsewhere in the city that would do pop-ups with local bakers. So there's a bake shop here called the Chubby Baker, and she did a passion fruit cream puff that was probably the best thing I've ever had. And you can get them at Thirst, or you could for a minute. Swig right now has pretzels. They have like hot pretzels you can get, which is kind of fun to like get into the savory space. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones that come to mind.
So really, yeah, it seems like it's maybe evolving as, as tastes change or, to keep people coming back.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Meg. So I think the question that everybody wants to know is, what is your go-to dirty soda, but what is maybe a more adventurous or different dirty soda when you want to mix it up?
Oh, boy. Okay, so I have been a Diet Coke with lime loyalist for a really long time. Dr. Pepper recently, I don't know if you've seen this, but Dr. Pepper has been doing their, it's already a drink, and it's a coconut Dr. Pepper, and they have a coconut diet Dr. Pepper version.
I haven't tried it, but I've seen it.
It is so delicious. I think Utah and Idaho combined account for 60% of the sales of this drink.
Oh, wow.
Which is wild. But now every time I go to Swig, I'm like, get me a Dr. Pepper with coconut in it, because it is an unbeatable combination. So I will always be Diet Coke with lime as like getting me through the day, what I rely on to survive. But when I want like a treat, it's a Diet Dr. Pepper with coconut.
Wow, that's a pretty powerful recommendation for that drink.
I mean, it's really, really good.
Do you think that the soda shops are recreating it equally as good or making it better?
Oh, it's always better from the soda shop. Like the can is good. It's really good. But there's something about the soda on ice in a styrofoam cup with the shot of the flavor that just makes it superior.
There's something. Well, and I feel like these dirty soda shops really put Pebble Ice on the map.
Pebble Ice is the superior ice. Like it cannot be beat.
I think it really, if you're going to get a dirty soda, the Pebble Ice is really what, that's a fact. It's not a correct dirty soda if you don't have that.
Absolutely. And it needs to be a big fat straw. Don't give me a McDonald's skinny straw. Give me a big fat, preferably neon colored straw.
Good to know. Okay, for anybody who's looking to go out there, make sure you're getting the Pebble Ice and the neon straws, or you're not having the experience.
You're not doing it right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, Meg, do you think that dirty sodas and these shops are just a trend, or do you think this is something that really has cultural staying power?
Here, it definitely has cultural staying power because, like you mentioned earlier, it's kind of always been here. It just wasn't like official until fairly recently. But I think that they really capitalized on something that we've been doing for a long time. And I don't see why they wouldn't survive other places because, like we already talked about, people love soda everywhere. We tend to love it like the most here, but soda's popular for a reason everywhere in the country. I think there's staying power for these things. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, there's been things like Shirley Temples and Roy Rogers since the 30s and 40s, which are, just different soda drinks with syrups and cream and cherries and, but this just seems like, maybe an evolution of that, maybe for the millennial mom, for, Gen Z, for everyone who's looking for something a little unique, not just the drinks their grandparents had.
Yeah. And, mocktails are having a moment right now. And a lot of these drinks are essentially mocktails. Like you can get a sparkling water with all these different infusions and flavors. And people do it at weddings. They bring in swig to cater at their weddings and people can go get a drink from there. Like I do think this is a really good idea and it's not just a flash in the pan. Like it's going to be around for a long time.
Well, I'm really excited to see kind of where it goes and what it looks like in the Treasure Valley. Maybe it'll come to Boise and really take on maybe a Boise edge. Maybe somebody will start like serving tater tots or something. You can get your tater tots.
Potatoes. Yeah. Are funeral potatoes a thing there?
Again, I grew up LDS, so yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if outside that culture, if everyone has it, but that would be definitely something I would show up for. Maybe like funeral potato bites and a swig.
Like, oh my gosh.
Or a dirty soda, I guess.
We're cooking with gas. You fry the potato with the cornflakes and the cheese in it. Incredible.
We might have just innovated something on this episode.
Get a patent lawyer on the phone.
Thank you so much, Meg. It has been so much fun to talk about dirty sodas and hear about what's new in that world with you.
It's been my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Before we go, have you heard about CityCast Boise Neighbors yet? It's our new membership program for listeners who want to get the most out of the show. For only $10 a month, you get access to ad-free listening and invites to exclusive members-only events. Plus, you also get the chance to shout out your favorite nonprofit or local business. Like Molly H. She's shouting out Prost downtown and their awesome staff. She loves how it's a great inclusive third space where she can sit alone with a book but be near friendly strangers. And our newest neighbor to join the CityCast Boise neighborhood is Diane M. Neighbors make this show possible. Join Diane by going to membership.citycast.fm. That's all for today here on CityCast Boise. If you enjoyed the show, check out our website for more guides to the best food and drinks around the city. We'll be back tomorrow morning with our Friday News Roundup. You won't want to miss it.